I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and what a lovely sight it was to see. Raw coming from Glasgow, or Glasgow, as Michael Cole likes to call it. I tell you what the best thing about Raw was though, is the fact we had a real set. It was the actual Raw set, and not one where they just dump a double-decker bus and a phone booth at the top of the ramp, because we're British and that's all we like. But it's Tuesday and it's your weekly dose of ups and downs, and we find out if Raw was good, and we find out if Raw was bad. Then you disagree in the comments, and the world continues to turn. Now, I know I explain ups and downs every week, but I want this to be a welcoming show. So if you've never watched before, now you know the deal. Anyway, let's get to upping some downing. Let's start this week by putting our hands together and congratulating WWE for a great debut with Scotland's own Noam Dar. Getting a reaction that made him feel like Hulk Hogan, it must have been an incredible feeling for Dar, and, straight off the bat, we've established him as some kind of star. Seemingly, he's going straight into a program with Brian Kendrick, and that is really good too. The question now is, can they keep the momentum going when they're back in the States? But at least the seed was planted. That was great, that was an up. We're starting with all the positivity in the world. A real down for the night though is this idea that Raw and SmackDown are genuinely at odds with each other. Who actually thinks that outside of the people that are just saying it on TV? The brand split hasn't been a total bust since it was launched a few months ago, but there's no wrestling fans out there thinking that both shows are going after each other's throats. You can't just say it on television and we all just buy in. That's not how it works. I'm sure Survivor Series will be a good pay-per-view, but WWE needs to come up with another idea to make this so-called faction battle work. Because right now, it ain't working. From squash matches a few months ago to now feeling like they've really progressed, the use of Nia Jax and Braun Strowman on Raw was awesome. And that's also known as an up. Both now feel like they're coming into their own, and seeing them mix it up with proper names but still retain that monster-like quality is just a lot of fun. Plus, we now get to start asking the question, what proper superstar will be the person to take them down? Strowman especially feels like there's a massive upside to him. And who the hell would have thought that a few weeks ago? It was really cool seeing him manhandle everyone in the main event on Raw. There's something here with Strowman. Don't screw it up, WWE. So far, so good. So, anyone else notice the format for Raw? You take people that are in a Survivor Series match, you then let them talk about the match, and then you then put them in a match. Okay, there was nothing hugely wrong with it, but it did get a bit wash, rinse, repeat after a while, namely because all the situations between the men, the women, and the tag teams were exactly the same. Surely there's a little creative nugget we can stick in there to make them all feel a bit different. Just a little one, stick it in there, get some uniqueness, some originality. It would work. We still have a good few weeks to make that happen, but in terms of last night's Raw, it was all too samey. And that's a down, because I am a man of variety. Sami Zayn versus Rusev was just an up from start to finish. Two great pro wrestlers having a great pro wrestling match. It certainly didn't hurt that the two were actually fighting over something. Whoever won was going to go on to Survivor Series to face Dolph Ziggler for his IC title, and there was a real sense that this was just a big deal. And Zayn won! And Zayn never wins! And that's bad in a way, because it means Rusev lost, and I love Rusev with all my heart. But that's the thing with ups and downs. Sometimes the ups and the downs collide into one big ball of mush. But as long as the mush tastes good, it's alright. That's an up. Stephanie McMahon. I just don't get it. I don't like to rag on anyone, but I just don't get it. What is she meant to be doing? Last night, her big thing was telling everyone on the Raw Survivor Series team that if they screwed up, they'd be fired. What? Why would you fire them? So you're going to lose to SmackDown at Survivor Series and then get rid of all your best people? You know what they do? They just go to SmackDown. I get that she's meant to be a heel. Well, actually, no, I don't, because she changes on a whim. But that is a straight-up ridiculous threat to make. Why aren't there some serious stakes for the match, like the winner gets to draft someone from the opposing brand? That would be really cool. Instead, Steph is just going to fire everyone. Great. Down. If the death of Francesca 2 was the catalyst for New Day just coming out each and every week and dressing up, I'm all for it. Up. Last week it was obviously done for Halloween, but this week the trio walked out as if they'd just come from the set of Braveheart. Because you know, Braveheart, Scotland, we're in Scotland, it all makes sense. Then Big E did the famous speech from the movie, and forget about it. That was entertaining, and that was a lot of fun, and as I've said before, we all like fun. Fun is fun, and fun is good. So apparently some people have gone either way with this, but the fans kinda taking over the show and shouting, "Hey Bayley," for about 65 hours wasn't up. A lot of the time, yeah, a crowd can ruin the segment by making it about themselves. But this was different because it made Bayley feel like a huge deal. It made her feel like a star. Also, it made me laugh a lot because it was so ridiculous, and who doesn't want to laugh? It really was quite incredible how dedicated they were to keeping it going. And yeah, if it happened week in, week out, that would get really annoying. But a one-off on foreign soil? I'm alright with it. The Golden Truth Shining Stars segment on Raw. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't exactly good, and the joke kind of fell flat. I didn't really get it. Down. I do like the Shining Stars though, although I don't think using them to just hock timeshares is the best way to build their characters. There's something more there that we're never going to see because WWE are just going to make them a constant joke from now until the end of time, and the end of time is a long way away. Also, Goldust should just dump R-Truth the first moment he gets. That man screws him over each and every week. You gotta be sick of it by now, man. Push him away. I like that finish to the main event. Up. We all know my opinion on Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, but having Owens accidentally pin his best friend is just a great way to plant more seeds for their eventual feud. Now Jericho can be upset, Owens can feign ignorance, everything works. Whether or not we needed a big schmoz between everybody on the Raw Survivor Series team is another matter, but it did allow things to move in the right direction. And moving things in the right direction is important, because if you're not going in the right direction, you're going the wrong way. More enjoyable because it was in Scotland than anything else. Raw did a good job in continuing to build to Survivor Series, but it didn't really stamp its mark on anything. Next week we do have the Bill Goldberg-Brock Lesnar face-off though, and that could be awesome. The video packages on this week's Raw were great, and if they can get next week's right, I tell you, that match is gonna feel special. That match is gonna feel big. I'm excited. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and like, share and subscribe. That's what all the cool kids are doing. Then go over to WhatCulture.com and read the Ups and Downs article, and come talk to me about Raw on Twitter at SimonMiller316. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and today I want you all to walk around with a happy smile etched on your face. Instantly, you'll be spreading joy to strangers you don't even know. But make sure the smile isn't creepy, because then you're spreading sadness and worry. Don't spread sadness and worry. I will see you in a week.
I will delete WCPW. It's over!